My name is James Williams Jr., and this is Kung Fu Havoc number 2. Alright, so this video is clearly going to be about racism, and I want to get this out of the way, and I want to make this abundantly clear, because it needs to be done, it needs to be said, it needs to be addressed, due to the fact that it's never really addressed. Alright? So, first and foremost, for everybody who's watching me, and if you're watching me on Facebook, let's keep this shit real. Alright? Yeah, my hair is a mess. Alright. So let's keep this shit real. Okay. So, for you who are watching me on Facebook, and for you who are watching me on YouTube who have no idea what my ethnicity is, let me make this point blank period to all of you. My name is James Williams Jr. I am of Cherokee Indian, I am of black, and I am of white descent. Now, all my life, I have been mixed, and I didn't really know it until I got into the 5th grade, because I used to just think I was black. Alright? Now, if you've seen pictures of me on Facebook, if you've seen my Facebook profile, you'll find my mother there, and she looks like a white person. And she can pass for a white person, and not only can she pass for a white person, she can blend right in, and I've lost her twice. In my 45 years of life, I've lost her. When my dad passed away, and I lost her the same year that my dad passed away, in 2 places. I lost her in Scottsville. She blended in with a bunch of white people. Had I not remembered to look for what her clothes were, I would have never found her, which is why I nicknamed her Premium Blend or the Old White Lady. Alright? Now, when we got lost in CVS, she stood between a white man and a tall Asian woman. So, she blended right in. I walked past her twice and didn't even know it. Okay? That shit happens. It probably doesn't happen to everybody who's mixed, but it does happen. I come from a family of mixed ethnicity. I am proud of my ethnicities until someone fucks up. If a black person fucks up, I'm not black that day. If a white person fucks up, I'm never going to be white, so I don't have to worry about that. And if a Native American or another Asian species of people fuck up, I'm not going to be that species that day. The advantage of being mixed is I can be whoever I want, whenever I want. Now, for those who aren't sure, how do you brighten this damn thing? There we go. So for those who aren't sure, first off, here's your history lessons. Native Americans are of Asian descent biologically and biologically is all you need to know. That they came from Asia to America over the land bridge, and they splintered off into many different tribes. Over 2,000 tribes to be exact. Possibly over 200,000 tribes. So if you're wondering why certain Native American tribes look Asian, it's because they are. Okay? Simple as that. Let's get that out the way. So, now, a lot of people don't understand that I don't just identify with just my black side. I identify with all of my sides, point blank. Now, I don't identify with the white side for the simple reason of I'm never going to be white. I know I have white in me, but I'm never going to be white. So, I identify with them, but I don't identify with them the way kids who look closer to white can identify with them when they are passing as white. I will never pass as white. Yes, I have been mistaken for Mexican. Yes, I have been mistaken for Filipino. Yes, I have been mistaken for Tiger Woods and Ernie Reyes Jr., which we look nothing alike. Me and Ernie Reyes Jr. might look a little bit alike. We used to when I had longer hair. Anyway, that being said, we're going to get that out of the way. My grandmother's name is Marie. Her nickname is Pocahontas, because just like my grandmother on my father's side, she is of Cherokee descent. She was adopted and raised by my great-grandmother named Sarah, who was a black woman. Alright? Now, as far as I know, this is what I've been told, so until I get the DNA test and the money to take it, that's your fact check right there. Now, most of my family, they only want to identify with their black side. I'm not like most of my family. I want to identify with all of my culture. And on my father's side, it's the same way. Now, my Uncle Bruce God rest his soul, he was one of the people who, whenever he got in trouble, and Grandma Ada, who was full-blooded Cherokee, by the way, would come marching down the street. I guess this is where I get calling my mom the old white lady, because he would always call Grandma Ada the old Indian lady. Now, of all her great-grandchildren, I was probably the one she spent the most time with when summers came, because I was the only kid that was there. You know, she died when I was 12. Now, my mother's side, my grandfather died when I was 6, and my Uncle Doc passed when I was 9. However, that's irrelevant to this. My great-grandmother, Ada, used to tell me stories about living on the resi. She never told me why she left the resi, and if she did, it's in here so deep that I can't find it. But I do remember the stories. I do remember some of the legends. I don't remember everything factually, word for word, verbatim for what she told me, but I remember most of them, because I'm probably the only kid that stayed there long enough. And then I talked to my Aunt Ruth. She said, well, the only reason she liked all of y'all was because y'all all looked like her. Y'all were all more Native American looking, while everyone else just looked black. And truth be told, my child may, if I live long enough to have a child, if I don't mix with a black chick, if I mix with an Asian chick or a white chick, my child more than likely will come out either like me or dark like my dad. My dad looked like he was black. You cannot tell he had Native American in him. His dad had the strong genes, alright? All of my aunts on my father's side have little to no Native American features whatsoever, but their mom was Native American, alright? Hopefully you guys are getting where that's going. Now, all of the next generation, my generation, most of us have Native American features. Now, some more than others, and some have stronger black traits than others. It just depends. But because both of my parents are of mixed ethnicity, this is what you got. Alright? So, when I identify myself, when I apply for a job, I straight up check black. You do not know the horror stories that that has caused. Let me fix my hair real quick, so that it'll stop distracting me. Because believe me, it's distracting me. It's distracting me a lot. So, the horror stories that that have caused, I would go on a job, and I would write down black. And this is where being a victim of reverse racism has happened on more times than I can count, is when I apply for a job and I put down black, and the person that I'm, like the manager in charge or whatever, like, are you sure you're black? Okay. So I'm pretty sure that's probably happened to The Rock. I'm pretty sure it's probably happened to Tiger Woods. I'm pretty sure it's happened to a lot of people who are mixed. But it's damn sure has happened to me on more than one occasion. I will say I have been fired on my job probably for going on a warpath one too many times. Because, you know, the Native American spirit, when it's in your blood, it does have a tendency to kind of flare up. So I've had to check my attitude a lot, a whole lot. But, at the same time, I'm very proud of my Cherokee heritage. I'm also very proud of my black heritage. I'm also very proud of my white heritage. Until, and this goes for all three of them, one person from that ethnicity of the three that I just mentioned fucks up. Then I'm not proud of them. But we can't let one person's action reflect all the members of each tribe of people in which I just named, because that does happen. And self-hatred is a motherfucker. Now, I'm going to go into an issue that's going to probably piss y'all off. So, I have decided to just keep going. I was going to stop this video, but I'm going to keep going. Alright, so I have uncles on my mom's side who were like, why don't you date black girls? I have my reasons. I've almost died dating black chicks. So that's no longer an option. And truth be told, I'm not really attracted to them. It's not that they're ugly. It's just not what I'm attracted to. I'm very attracted to Asian and white women, and I go after them. And no one can tell me who I can and can't date. You don't have that right. The Loving family made sure that we all have the right to choose who we want to love in the state of Virginia, my home state. It's a bit clusterfuck. They made a movie about it. But anyway, I'm one of those people who believe that you can love whoever you want, and you should be able to. Regardless of cost, you should be able to love whoever you want. The trick is, they also have to love you. If you're just into Asian women, depending on where they're from, a lot of Asian women are into men of color. It just depends on where they're from. maybe in Japan, maybe in the Philippines, not so much China, maybe not so much Korea. I guess it really depends on how they're raised. If they're born in America, they have options depending on how racist or non-racist their family is. I'm not saying that all Asian families are racist. Let's get that out the way, because I know a lot of Asian people who are very non-racist. Or this is the part where you guys say that's because they think you're one of them. I've been given that once or twice before. Okay, so just to get that out the way, yes, I have been given that once or twice before. It's like, oh, that's just because they think you're one of them, and that's also because I have been mistaken for Hawaiian and Samoan as well, who are also Asian, and Tahitian and Polynesian. They're all Asian. So yeah, I have been mistaken for them. You know, but more importantly, and to sound less racist, you should probably get to know people as people before you get to know them as a culturally diverse city or entity or race. Now, I relate more with my Native American half because I've had to do my own research. I've had to search myself because a lot of the family members are just, oh, well, we don't want to talk about that. We don't want to do that. We don't want to talk about that. Now, on my dad's side, it was a tiny bit different because I was exposed to my grandmother for 12 years. And 12 years I had her during the summer times, with the exception of being the age of 7 when I didn't get to go down there. And I think it was like maybe 13 or something. I don't remember. But I know she died when I was 12 because my mom wouldn't let me go to the funeral because she died like during time to go to school, and so that kind of fracked up everything there, so we couldn't go. Well, I couldn't go, and my dad lost his job because it was you either lose your job or you don't go. You go to your grandmother's funeral, you lose your job because his grandmother is my great grandmother, but you lose your job if you go to the funeral, which I think was a load of shit. But he lost his job. You know, he wanted to go to Grandma Ada's funeral, so he went. These are things that when you look at our cultures, when you look at us as people, you say, damn, man, I hate having that in me. All right, because I believe his boss was black that told him he was going to get fired if he went to the funeral, which I was like, that's kind of fucked up, you know. And if not, then the boss is white, which makes it just as bad and just as fucked up. If the boss was Asian, that would still make it bad. You don't fire someone because they're going to pay respects to their dead ancestor. But it happens, you know. I've been fired on my day off. The same year the movie Friday came out. In fact, that very Sunday that the movie came out, I got fired that day. Anyway, that being said, which also has no relevance, you know, I identify myself as mixed. No exceptions. So when people just say, oh, it's a black man, I say, no, I'm a mixed man. I am a human being of multiculturalness. Don't forget it. You know, my name is James Williams Jr. I am of Cherokee descent. I am of black descent. I am of white descent. And I usually list it in that order because when I say I'm black and white and Cherokee, most people are like, well, we kind of see the black. We don't really see the white. Are you sure you're not a Mexican? You'll be surprised at how many times I've been spoken to in Spanish and I cannot reply with anything other than no habla español. I am not Mexican. You know? It's like, what? It's like, yeah, dude, I'm not a Mexican. Like, you look Mexican. I said, motherfucker, that's that Cherokee Indian you see, because Mexicans, hello, you're actually Native Americans. Now, just like Native Americans until 1924 had no rights, there you go. Which is why most Mexicans, when they entered Mexico, that was it. You know, some of them went further south, some of them joined the Amazon tribe, some of them went everywhere. And it doesn't hurt to know a little bit of your culture as you grow up. So when your child, or when your child's child, or carry on your name or whatever, and they're going to want to know where they came from, and genealogy will probably be cheap by then. It'll probably be like $10 instead of like the $400 or $500 you got to pay now for like a DNA test and whatever. And I don't have that kind of money to get it because I need to have one done and then submit it to the Cherokee Nation, and then I have to submit it to the Native American Bureau of Indian Affairs. I have to submit it to a lot of shit just to claim my Native American heritage, which I believe is also a crock of shit, but it's got to get done. That being said, you know, you got to go through a lot to prove your heritage, you know, which is another reason why when someone doesn't acknowledge my Cherokee heritage, I get a little bit upset. It's kind of like if I talk to somebody whose name is Lee, and I assume that they are Chinese when they could actually be Korean, because Lee is one of those interchangeable names, just like Chang and Chow and Yu. Some of those are actually interchangeable names. Now, the interchangeable names that I'm not sure about generally are the Japanese names. Fujiwara, Yakahami, Takahoshi, Tanaka. Those I'm pretty sure are just Japanese names. I could be wrong, because I'm not Japanese, but I can be wrong. And there's nothing wrong with being wrong, especially when you don't have enough exposure to these cultures. Now, I'm going to make another video about this. I'm James Williams Jr. It's Kung Fu Happy number 2. It's 15 minutes and a half of your time you can't get back.